Yard is directed by Yame Colette Serra, produced by Blumhouse, and stars Danielle Deadwyler. A mysterious woman repeatedly appears in a family's front yard, often delivering chilling warnings and unsettling images, leaving them to question her identity, motives, and the potential danger she might pose. Yame Colette Serra has had his hand in horror before. Obviously, we know him a lot from the Liam Neeson action movies and some other action movies and action thrillers that don't star Liam Neeson. But he's back here directing a horror movie, and The Woman in the Yard is nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's also not very good. What I liked about the movie is that I think Yame Colette Serra directs it fairly well. I think it is a very well shot movie. There are so many images in here that really linger in your mind, that strike a sort of nervous tension within your head as you're watching the movie. There are certain images that are going to be ingrained in your head after the movie. There's also a really good central performance from Danielle Deadwyler in here that I think is probably the strongest point of the entire movie. And there's a lot of practical effects and CGI, so a lot of mixing with the computer generated visual effects and the practical effects. I couldn't really tell. I mean, it all seamlessly blended together, and that's what I can really ask for a movie that is blending both CGI and practical effects together to form the overarching visual effects aesthetic of the movie. So when it was CGI, could not tell. I mean, I thought a lot of it was all practical. This is one of those movies where you can't tell if anything is CGI'd. But other than that, I think outside of those few things, I found it to be very dull, really slow moving. It's another Blumhouse horror movie that deals with trauma and grief and despair. And I feel like we've been down this road so many times with Blumhouse where it's just getting to the point where it's getting annoying. We got to try something different. Obviously, if there was more to say about these themes that the movie presents, I probably wouldn't be complaining all that much. But it feels like it's just we're treading familiar ground. It feels like it's not saying anything new regarding those themes that other horror movies from Blumhouse have already said. Also, the movie just kind of sits here. It takes a while for something to really happen. It's not overtly scary. It doesn't feel like it's ever trying to scare you. It's just trying to mess with your mind. And as I said, some images are going to be ingrained in your mind, but for the most part, I feel like it's just one of those that's going to be a memory blank after a while. You're not going to remember anything from this movie 2 minutes after the credits roll. Because of the practical effects, Yame Colette Serra does a good job of staging some tension, and at least his background from horror has that tension, but there's just so many things that happen in this movie that either go unanswered, unexplained, or feel really asinine. Like the entire third act is just one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And when it comes to the character decisions a lot in this movie, why? Why would you ever do anything like that? It's another one of the dumb character decision movies. Like a kid grabs a shotgun, goes outside, and stares the thing in the face as it's trying to get in. Don't do that. I think people will find this to be more effective than the trailers are leading it on to be, but I think beyond that, it's a pretty bare bones surface level horror movie. It does mark a return to Yame Colette Serra's roots, and he definitely has a knack for staging tension and staging horror. He's just not trying to overtly scare you here. This movie just kind of sits there and just stares at you, and I guess I'm just trying to figure out some other crazy puns to say about sitting in a yard or a front lawn of somebody's house or something, and it's just not coming to me right now. But it didn't work for me on the levels that it wanted to, but on some other levels, it did work for me, and I didn't think it would. I thought that this was going to be an absolute train wreck. Not the case here. And I also just want to add, this movie definitely stretches out its concept into a feature-length running time when it really should just be a short movie. It shouldn't be anything beyond that. It clearly shows in the movie that they ran out of ideas for a feature-length film, and you could see where the bare bones of a short film were, or at least the basis for a short film were. And it should have stayed at that. I think The Woman in the Yard is perfectly fine with half a bucket of popcorn. So if you have seen The Woman in the Yard, let me know what you think of it. in the comments below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.